Hey, it's your boy Kai. Welcome to the Kyrus Friends podcast, where I sit down with the people that mean the most to me, my colleagues and my friends. If you like our Falcon and Winter Soldier panel today, please be sure to follow me on your favorite social media platforms. You can follow me at The Vibe with Kai on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever you use. You can also visit my official website at thevibewithkai.com, where I'm always posting things that'll help you do good, feel good, be good, and live a good life full of good vibes. Today, our MCU panel is talking all things Falcon and Winter Soldier, the latest Disney Plus entry into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Please be aware that today's panel may contain spoilers for the WandaVision, for WandaVision and other MCU entries. So if you're not caught up, you should probably click out of this because we're going to talk about a lot of different things here. With that said, once again, welcome to the Kyrus Friends podcast. I hope you enjoy our latest edition of the MCU panel. Joining us today, some returning favorites of our favorite MCU nerds here. We have them back for another round of nerding out about the MCU after discussing the WandaVision finale last week. Returning this week, my friends, we have Jonathan V. Polanco. How you doing over there, sir?
I'm so good. I apologize to the viewers who are present. I know that you are highly anticipating a Falcon and Winter Soldier eye look. Unfortunately, sleep took more precedent this morning than an hour-long eye look. So, but I
No
got
excuses.
my tea. I'm ready to spill the tea on WandaVision. I'm ready to spill the tea on what I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier is going to bring. And I think that regardless of how I look, I think the personality and the effervescence
The vibe is still there. Yes.
It's still there.
It's still there. It's never gone. It's never gone. It's always there.
I know.
I love you. I love you. And I'm so happy that you're here. Also joining us, my good friend Michael Anthony Crea. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man. How you doing? Thanks for having me back.
Well. So for those of you that don't know, we're recording this. We record these on Saturday mornings at like 9 a.m. But Mike is one of those people. He just told us his day is like halfway over. He wakes up. I don't think he sleeps. I think he closes his eyes. He blinks, and then he gets his day started again. If I'm not mistaken. It's 9 a.m. on a Saturday. He's already been grocery shopping. He's already fully dressed, bathed. He's probably eaten food at this point as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Y'all are lucky I washed my face before I came here.
My hair is done and I have pants on for all of you. That's what
go.
matters.
Oh, y'all are wearing pants?
I will never.
From here out, that's all I need to see.
I cannot reveal that information. That information is classified. Whether or not I'm.
That's amazing, Mike. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm great. I'm excited to talk about this. I know we're going to get into Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I also want to say if anybody hasn't seen the WandaVision making of that dropped yesterday, that was incredible.
Yeah, I was going to ask if anybody watched it yet. I have not watched it yet, but I heard good things.
It was wonderful. It's so well done. The moments that they discussed were so great to see, and it took us on a great journey into the making of the series and what all went into it, and it was unbelievable.
I heard they gave Paul Bettany a fake butt. Is that true?
I think that is. I did not hear that. That was not part of that that episode, my friend. You have forgotten that.
That's some fan fiction that went a little awry.
Web there.
There should have been a whole episode dedicated to Paul Bettany.
Well, one of the things, and Jacqui, I'll get to you in a second to introduce you. But one of the things that Black Twitter has blown up. I don't know if you've seen this, but Black Twitter has taken Vision and his outfit at the end of the series. They've created a new character called Vision, Vishoawn. I'm telling you. In fact, I'm going to pull this up right now. I'm going to share my screen because it's become a meme.
Oh man!
On Black Twitter, and I don't know if you guys ever scroll through Black Twitter. I do. As a black man, but I'm going to share my screen so y'all can see this. This is a new character. His name is Vishon. His name is Vishon Jarvis.
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness!
I stand. I'm fine.
I was just gonna say we stand Vishon.
How funny is this? Look at this. Black Twitter done gave this man a soul stone at this point.
I can't. I'm over it.
I can't. Oh my god. Wait, here's one. Why are black people doing this to me?
No.
That's incredible.
The internet.
I can't. This is hilarious.
That deserves a round of applause. That is incredible.
This
That
is so
deserves a
funny.
yes.
Oh my god.
That deserves a yes.
This is I can't. This is the best thing I've ever seen. Thank
This
you,
is
Black Twitter.
art.
That is absolutely perfect.
As an art teacher, I say this is art.
I think this one's definitely my favorite though.
Yes.
Like, he's like
Sean Jarvis.
That one is the best. I know that man. I've met that man several times at several parties.
oh man, I had to share this with y'all.
I love that they gave him the last name of Jarvis.
Yes. Yes. Sean Jarvis. I can't. Oh man, but yeah. So that's what Black Twitter's doing.
Thank you, Black Twitter.
Yeah.
For
Yes.
constantly doing us.
I'm crying. Anyway, Jacqui, we have my friend Jacqui Beltran. We've been friends for all of like 2 weeks now, but we're like friends.
We have. Yeah.
Now
I
you
added
can't get
everybody
rid of
after. Yeah, I added everybody after the last podcast.
Yeah.
Like, finally, people that I can talk Marvel about.
Exactly. That makes me happy. Jacqui, how you doing? How you holding up?
Doing pretty good, man. I'm actually well rested, despite the fact that I woke up around like 2 a.m. this morning. But you know, we're still kicking. Well, I was saying earlier, like when you want to go to sleep, and all of a sudden your brain is just like, "Hey, how tall is Jesus?" And you just kind of just like, "Yeah, let's Google how tall Jesus is." That's how I was feeling at 2 a.m. I was just like, close.
That's hilarious. Did you find out how tall is Jesus?
I don't know how tall Jesus is.
I would say he's a solid 6'4".
Yeah, you know what?
Wow.
He's probably a basketball player. That would make sense.
I think he could play for the Sixers. Like, I feel like he could. I think he could like I don't know. We need a center because Joel Embiid is hurt, but we're not going to talk basketball right now because different podcast. I know.
I would have nothing to add to that podcast.
Exactly.
Sports, woo! Get the tackle, make it, do it. I'm so in love with all of this.
I can't. Oh my gosh. So this is our lovely panel today. I'm so excited to be talking about them. So what I want to do to kind of start this off, I want to play the trailer, the trailer to this show, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm going to share my screen here, and we could do like a live reaction, so you guys can say whatever it is that's on your mind. I want to make sure that I have the right button. Share sound. I hit the share sound button because apparently this is my first time ever zooming before. So let's watch this.
So,
I'm
who
excited
would like
for
to
this.
start? Mr. Barnes, why does Sam aggravate you?
15 seconds to drop.
I love
what's
their
our plan?
chemistry.
Great.
Superheroes
This is a fictional
cannot be
city. if I'm
allowed
not
to
mistaken.
exist.
Oh,
There's Zemo.
I have no intention
That's
to leave my
Zemo.
work unfinished.
So happy they gave him his mask for this.
I know, right? I'm loving all of this.
The world's upside down right now.
Captain.
Where do we start?
They're not social distancing.
Buck, I have a plan. Oh, yeah? What is it?
Is you ready?
Yes.
Here we go again, huh?
We've been grinding hard on the club. Can't take that one. Are you ready? Is you ready? Ready? You said you ready. All squad ready. Ready? Is you ready? Are you ready? Ready? Is you ready?
That little girl kick your ass. Gotta get that first shot up before that bullet hit me.
See? That wasn't so hard.
Are you ready? Is you ready? Ready?
Okay.
You say you ready.
What are you doing?
Whole squad ready. Ready?
Are you having a staring contest?
Are you ready? Ready? Is you ready?
Just blank. Sweet Jesus. I mean, how old are you?
I'm so excited for that.
Let me just say, Amy Aquino as the therapist right there is brilliant freaking casting. I love that chick. All the way back from the ER days. I'm showing my age right now.
I know, back in the was she on during the George Clooney time?
Oh yeah, she was on. Oh yeah, she was on back in the day. Yes.
Yeah.
Very popular, like late 80s, early 90s actress. So I applaud that casting.
And she's probably super happy that she's like in the MCU now. I feel like any actor now that's like, oh, I can be in the MCU now. Okay, I'll take this job.
That's the big money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you think after watching the trailer? John, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on Falcon and Winter Soldier?
First and foremost, after the kind of emotional decimation that was WandaVision, that just kind of made me have to examine my own life, which I was not expecting. I'm ready for some kind of like balls to the wall action. I'm ready to just be kind of impressed with physical spectacle as opposed to kind of the magical spectacle that was WandaVision. I want to see, I see these clubs. 100% there's probably going to be a fight there. I see, these back alley fights. I see these, aerial assault type fights and chases, and then these two semi trucks that they're fighting on. Like, it just seems like this one is going to be the complete polar opposite to WandaVision. I feel like with WandaVision, where everything was a slow burn and a build up, this one's going to be like action every
absolutely
episode.
And I'm excited. I think we're definitely going to get more action than in WandaVision for sure. I mean, from what I've heard, they did preview the first episode for like reviewers and things like that, and it has been getting good reviews, like really good reviews so far. And they said that the first episode clocks in at 53 minutes.
Nice.
53, and like that's not including credits, apparently.
But there are only 6 episodes.
There's only 6 episodes, correct? Yeah. Yes. But I'm excited. That was great. I love their chemistry. Like, I remember the moment that I realized I liked their chemistry. I'm sure you remember this. Was it Civil War when they were sitting in the car together? And he's like, "Can you move your seat up?"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Steve Rogers had kissed what's her face?
Sharon Rogers.
Sharon Rogers.
Granddaughter, I guess.
Yes.
And they were sitting in the car and they were just like,
oh, whoopsie.
Sometimes right, as the rest of the world was like,
yeah, I love their chemistry. And then I think they fought Spider-Man together during Civil War in the airport, if I'm not mistaken. They fought each other. Jacqui, what are your thoughts on Falcon Winter Soldier?
I'm really excited to see the humor in this because honestly, I didn't know much about Falcon Winter Soldier, the series, as a comic for a while. I just got into it late once I knew it was a thing. But it's literally so funny. It's so fun to read, and I laughed out loud reading it. So, and Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie has the perfect timing and comedic.
Yeah, he's always been actually funny. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to see the laughter. I want to see the action, and I'm excited for Baron Zemo to not be the guy with the wife anymore and actually be Baron Zemo.
Yeah, and what's funny, I think in one of the clips you can see when they were walking through. I can't remember the name of that fictional city, but I know it is a fictional city, which has close ties to the mutants, if I'm not mistaken. But they in that clip, if you look at it, the Falcon and Winter Soldier are actually walking with Baron Zemo. So I'm curious if there's ever, I would imagine at some point they're going to have to work with him on something. So, and I definitely want to get into that. Mike, what is your view? Did I wait? No, I asked you. No, I didn't ask you yet. Okay, there we go. What is your view?
So this step, I agree with Jacqui and John that I think this is going to kind of carry a very different tone and feel than WandaVision. We also have to remember that this was supposed to be the first Disney Plus series, and I think if COVID weren't a thing, and if this actually was able to premiere first, I think it probably would have made a little bit more sense for it to be that more Marvel feel, that cinematic feel, because I think they probably the producers probably wanted it to feel that way first, to just kind of establish, okay, look, we're doing a TV series, but it's still Marvel, it's still MCU, so we're going to give you everything that you would expect from a film, but put it on TV.
Right.
But me personally, I think that WandaVision happening first was actually a better thing, because we kind of took a break from that cinematic epicness, and we kind of toned it down a little bit and had a much different feel, and it felt much more intimate and small. And then now, after we had that 9 weeks of intimacy and character development and humor, and with little touches of grandiose cinematic stuff, now the doors kind of get blown wide open, and we go right back to how the old school MCU films all felt to us. So, but I agree that I'm really excited to see Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan. I think they're both fantastic actors. You know me, I'm Team Iron Man, so these two are kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum for me. so I'm kind of with Jacqui that I didn't really pay too much attention to these two characters in the Avengers, in the Infinity Saga. So
strategically placed above your shoulder again.
There it is.
I love it.
So that's good, because I want to see what these guys' story is.
Absolutely.
And just like you, Kai, one of the first things that I always do is I always look at the first reactions. And I just hopped on over to Rotten Tomatoes yesterday when everything went down. And scrolling through, and I'm looking right now. I'm scrolling through, and I've been looking at this the past couple of hours, and overall the consensus is that the first episode is really good, and that specifically the first 10 minutes have like some of the most unbelievable action of the entire MCU thus far. Like any film. So bring it on, basically, I don't want to speak for other people, because these are obviously reporters, and we're doing a podcast, and I certainly don't want to pass this off as my own speech, but basically like high flying movie level action, grounded performances. Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan are given the room to flesh out their characters. There's exciting action, a cinematic feel. It's worth the wait. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, this is good. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier is centered around my two least favorite characters in the MCU. While I wasn't exactly blown away by the first episode, I will fully admit that it kept my interest and made me want to come back for seconds. I'm intrigued. And that was
great. That's great to hear. It's funny. It's funny that they said that what Falcon and Winter Soldier are their least favorite, and that I find it funny because and Mike, this, my favorite MCU movie is Winter Soldier, because I feel like the Winter Soldier set the tone that we're all used to now when it comes to Marvel movies. Like, because I think that was the Russo brothers' first movie with the MCU. That they did. Yeah, and I love the tone that they set, with that movie. Yeah. And what's funny is that even though Winter Soldier was my favorite movie, he is actually one of my least favorite MCU characters.
He was always treated like a throwaway villain. I used to play the Marvel video games growing up, and he was like the first villain you played in every video game, and you whooped his butt in 2 seconds. So he never got his roses. So that it was really interesting to see in Winter Soldier him actually being given his roses and treated like an important, strong character.
Right. Yeah, I think the only time I really enjoyed that character in the MCU is when it was during Civil War, when it was like Steve Rogers and Bucky versus Tony in that that one scene at the end when they're I loved it.
Did you know
that I thought they all played that so well, and I ended up going back last night just to rewatch the ending of Civil War. I watched the last 25 minutes of it, just to kind of just rejig my memory and stuff like that. And it's it's really, really interesting, that dynamic that they had there. It was well acted. Civil War, like the ending of Civil War with Tony and everybody was just so incredibly well acted.
100% agreed.
I will say I wasn't ready to let go of Sebastian Stan's long locks. I like Sebastian Stan, long hair Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
I like it. Don't take it away from me.
I'm just saying, he looked more like Mark Hamill in the original Star Wars trilogy at the beginning of that trailer than Mark Hamill looked like Mark Hamill in the original Star Wars trilogy.
They wanted Sebastian Stan to play Luke Skywalker in Mandalorian.
I don't know why he did it. He should have.
Because of technology.
Double dip in that Disney money, girl. Oh my God.
Because of technology. You can get old ass Mark Hamill, who's still great, by the way. I called him old, but he's still great. He's like, all that. But you can just get him to show up on set and then just DH him.
That wasn't even Mark Hamill. That was
it wasn't
Mark Hamill. No,
it wasn't Mark Hamill.
It was a body double. It was somebody. He wore the Luke Skywalker outfit. And I think he had like a CG mask on.
Did Mark Hamill provide the voice? Did he do anything?
I mean, why? Disney has his soul. They can do whatever they want with him.
That's
he
true.
Doesn't have to
I think he did do something because he was credited
I guess it had to be his voice. He probably just lends his voice. Because he's a voice actor, so he can do anything.
True. Yeah,
I would love to see him as a real life Joker. By the way,
people say that he is the best Joker, the best hands down.
Oh, 100 hands down. I'm very much a big Batman fan.
I like him. Yeah. I like him a lot. I do. He's not my favorite Joker.
Are we about to go into a different direction?
That's a different podcast.
Yeah.
Because we're next week for
I know
is wrong and
exactly.
him why he's wrong.
I know. I think the best Joker is obviously Jared Leto. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
My pearls.
I know. Next week we are.
Everyone your address and your phone number, Kyrus, so they can call you and send emails.
No. Heath Ledger will always be at the top for me, but that's just me.
Well, you know what? There's a difference between performance actors and voice actors, even though voice actors are so great and they are performing.
Yeah.
Most of the time they don't. But the nice thing about voice acting is anybody can play one character.
Yes.
They just have to have that voice.
Yes.
But once it translates to performance, it's very, very different. While I think Mark Hamill could play those people, it would be very different.
It'd be very different. Yes, absolutely.
It should be Willem Dafoe. Let's just end there.
I would go with that. I liked him. I think they should bring him back for the new Spider-Man, but that's just me. So we were talking about the chemistry between Bucky and Winters and Falcon, and they released a new clip this week that I think was hilarious, and I hope that the whole series is like this. And I want to play this for you. It's like a 30-second clip, and it's. I want you to call me Fashawn, please.
Okay, Fashawn. You need to wear that gold chain next time you come on, girl.
Look, check out this clip. I love this.
Well, I don't trust Red Wing. Hold on a minute.
You don't have to trust Red Wing. But I'm going to go see if he's right. Because I have a feeling they might be a part of the big three.
What big three?
The big three.
What big three?
Androids, aliens, and wizards.
That's not.
That's definitely it.
No, it's not.
So every time we fight one of the three.
So who are you fighting now, Gandalf?
How do you know about Gandalf?
I read it in 1937 when it first came out.
So you see my point?
No, I don't. There are no wizards.
Doctor Strange
is a sorcerer.
A sorcerer is a wizard without a hat. Think about it. Right?
Oh my God!
Right. I just came up with that. It's crazy. But that's not the point. These guys aren't magic. All right? They use brute force just like you. The incredibly annoying guy in front of me with the staring problem.
I'm coming with you.
No, you're not.
Oh my God! That was pure Kai. I try to stay away from clips like that because I want to experience the full, everything when I first watch, but oh my gosh, that makes me even more excited.
Yeah, I happened to stumble upon that the other day because on Twitter, they released it on Twitter. And I was like, okay, let me watch it because I haven't really seen any other clips or anything either. But I saw this, and because people were trending about it, talking about because in one of the lines, I think I put this in our other group, John. One of the lines in that part was when Bucky says, "So who are you fighting now, Gandalf?" I read The Hobbit in 1937 when it first came out. And it's followed up by pictures of, it says, Bucky Barnes when he watches The Hobbit and sees Bilbo, Thorin, and Elrond, all of whom were, you probably can't see it, all of whom were in... oh
yeah,
all MCU characters who are in Lord of the Rings. Yeah. But yeah, I think that encapsulates their relationship. And I'm curious, how much do you think that Captain America is going to play into this? And I mean, like actual Chris Evans, Steve Rogers. Obviously, I doubt he's going to make a cameo of any sort. But you know, how much of his legacy do you think is going to come into play? And that's just an open question for anybody.
Well, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with this one, but in the comics, they usually make a lot of callbacks where, like, they're just like, you guys, there's 2 Captain Americas now. We have all the Captain America memorabilia in our house. Like, there's, like, all these fans and fanboys fanboying over Captain America. Now they know that they have 2. So I don't think he's going to have, like, a huge anything in this, but there might be callbacks to just the fandom surrounding Captain America, I think.
That was what I was thinking. I was like, I feel like Captain America is going to be less of like a hero, and Captain America is now more a symbol, you know? And I feel like that's why we're going to kind of go back and forth with both of them. It's going to be more so, I can't be Captain America this week. I'm going to fight this person. You need to be Captain America this week. You know, and I honestly, I don't want to throw out any spoilers, but I've heard through the grapevine that we're going to be getting another Young Avenger character, which I'm super excited about. Eli Bradley, Monsieur Patriot. And I wonder if he's going to be like a super fan or something like that. That's going to just like know everything and be obsessed with Captain America and kind of be almost like Syndrome was in The Incredibles, and just like stumble on like some type of like thing and like, oh, surprise, he's a badass. He trains, he, you know, is that obsessed with Captain America that he like trains like Captain America, and he's actually like, you know, I don't know. I could be just crazy and going in a completely left field direction, but
that's really interesting because in the comic, there's a assassin called the Natural, and he's a huge a Captain America fanboy to a stupid degree, and so is his parents. And he's a stupid, crazy badass. So I don't know if that kind of story arc is gonna tie in.
That could. I mean, you heard it here, folks. First, all right. Let it be known on the interwebs. We predicted it first. It does come to fruition.
I think it's quite clear that they're going in the Young Avengers route. By the way, I think they're
100%.
Just like how the movies set up the Avengers, these shows are probably going to set up the Young Avengers.
Absolutely,
exactly.
Absolutely.
And it would be fun to see if the Young Avengers, if they could make that into like, because all of these series are going to tie into the MCU, like the larger MCU film series as a whole. So I'm wondering, do you think it could be cool for them to do some type of like, I don't know, like Saved by the Bell high school series, or you know, some type of Glee series, or some type of any high school teenager series? Because that's technically what Young Avengers is. Like they go on these crazy, outlandish, wild adventures, and then they're in school the next day.
Well, after what we saw with WandaVision, and after and what we know already of like the other series with, you know, What If, I think anything's on the table.
That's true.
I wouldn't be surprised, you know, to see something like that. I think, you know, kind of like an after school special, you know.
Yeah.
That can be fun. I know.
Old school.
Do you think,
I
it would be more of a feature than like a TV show?
I would think it'd be a TV show.
Okay.
But if they wanted to make it a film, people would go. I think at this point, you know, the fandom is going to support what they do no matter what. I don't think they can do any wrong, you know.
They'd have to do some pretty horrible movies, all in rapid succession, one part.
Which other. I just don't see happening, because even the movies that I am not a fan of in the MCU still made like $1 billion. So like at the end of the day, Disney doesn't care. They're just like, bring me some money, baby.
I always laugh whenever like Disney says they're struggling, as I watch Disney Plus every single day, and I'm just like, like, where's the struggle? I don't see it. Point to where the struggle is.
Right? You have at least 1 million subscribers who all pay at least $7 a month. You're at least getting $7 million a month. Like,
at minimum, $7 million a month.
Yep.
A month. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
So I just getting back to the who takes up the mantle.
Yeah.
Isn't there, now I'm going to need some help from comic book aficionados, but isn't there a third character, like a third character that also carries the shield and kind of takes up that image, the mantle of Captain America? Isn't it like, I'm looking on IMDb right now, isn't it like U.S. agent or something?
I know.
Probably.
I know there is a character in here because somebody is in.
Took up Captain America's mantle.
Yeah.
So, I know in the preview that that they showed, like the actual trailer, the original trailer. I know there is definitely somebody in Captain America's uniform.
Yeah.
That is not Bucky or Sam.
Yeah.
So I'm curious who it can be. I mean,
right. And so you know, I try and stay away from anything that could potentially spoil. But you know, when you look at IMDb and you see actors, you know, of note, you know, playing certain roles, you have to kind of go, well, who are you? You know, what's your role going to be? And so you know, and you're right. You see somebody in the trailer that's wearing the outfit that's not either one of them. So
right.
You know, you have to think.
There's so many people who have worn the Captain America uniform. At one point, Peggy wore it. At one point, there is a guy from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that wore it. So, I mean, if there's a third person in here that's wearing it, it could be anybody. It's just, it's so vast.
I'm letting you guys know now. You heard it here first.
I've been waiting.
I am in Falcon and Winter Soldier. It is me. That's what I've been doing.
To your point, Kai, you know, that circles back to what you just asked a little bit ago. Is, you know, who's gonna take on this role and who's gonna be Captain America? Is it going to be one? Is it going to be one of the two? Is it going to be somebody completely different?
Right.
It
should be Falcon. Technically speaking,
I agree.
It was Steve Rogers handed it. He handed it to Falcon and said, "This is yours now."
And maybe the series is about how it is just too much of an insurmountable task for any human to achieve, thus awe-inspiring everyone to be reminded how amazing and glorious and just jaw-dropping just Steve Rogers was as a human, and it's just a love fest. I don't know. I just want to see them love each other. I want them to be here and get a house together and bake quiches and souffles with one another. That's what I want.
So some of the reviews,
boys, we know you love each other. That's why they were staring at each other in the trailer. It wasn't a staring contest. They're just too scared to follow that story path.
Oh boy!
You know Disney can't go that route. They're frightened.
Not yet. They're
frightened.
trying. They really are.
I watched an interview about Anthony Mackie way before this point, and he's talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier. At one point, they were just like, "So what's Sebastian Stan like? Is he any fun?" And he's just like, he puts fun to bed like NyQuil. So like he's the perfect thing for Winter Soldier, because Winter Soldier is like the bad cop and he's supposed to be the good cop. Like Falcon's the funny guy and Winter Soldier's the straightforward, like, I've been killing so long, I've seen some stuff. So like I'm sure his personality kind of shines through in that role.
Right. Do you think there's going to be any major cameos? I know that, and this was kind of spoiled by himself. I know that my doppelganger Don Cheadle has already said that he makes an appearance in this series. So he already spoiled that himself.
Well, that makes me happy.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the Iron Patriot. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah. So and I know he's getting his own show,
Armor Wars.
And I'm pretty sure he would make a cameo in Ironheart as well, and all of that. But do you think there's going to be any other major cameos that take place in this series? And if so, who could potentially show up?
I can see Bruce Banner showing up. him showing up for sure.
That's Golden Globe winner. That's Golden Globe winner Bruce Banner to you, sir.
Yes, absolutely. No, good old Mark Ruffalo, man. I love him, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of seeming, and we're getting little hints that, unfortunately, his arc might be coming to a close. So maybe, maybe he's going to be there to kind of move his story forward and kind of provide closure to everybody for where he is. Maybe I also did read as part of the first reviews yesterday that this series kind of does take on a little bit of a political tone as well.
Okay.
And so, I could see Bruce Banner kind of being a political figure if he's not going to fight anymore. He's got his damaged arm. He can't fight.
Yeah, that could be cool.
The snap back that he did, kind of basically rendered him incapacitated. So I don't know if he can. I don't really know how much more he can do in terms of
and he's certainly not getting his own movie, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. So would he?
I mean, he'll definitely. I would imagine he'll definitely show up in the She-Hulk series that they announced. With,
for sure.
Tatiana Maslany. Yeah. I also want to take a second and just give a shout out to Miss Emily Van Camp playing Sharon Carter in this. I've always loved her, and I'm so happy that they are making her a badass.
Yes.
I know. I mean, in Civil War, Civil War was what, her first movie, or was Winter Soldier was her first movie?
I think it was Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I think that was the first.
What was the one that she was like living in the apartment? I think that was Winter Soldier when she was like living in the apartment across the way.
But at that point, you didn't get to see the full extent of her. Whereas in Civil War, when she's fighting the Winter Soldier, you got like a taste that it was like, damn, this chick is like crazy. But again, even that point, there were so many heroes in that. So like she had just this. So I'm so excited that they're gonna just roll that and just widen that scope and give her her due.
Yeah,
I'm wondering, and I'm probably reaching here, but I in terms of Young Avengers, it would make sense if America Chavez, Miss America from Young Avengers, popped up
in this.
I think that she's supposed to pop up, though. I mean, it'd be awesome if she did.
Right.
But she's like she's like a dimension, like warping, portal jumping being, which is actually very interesting.
Right.
But I think that she's going to either show up in the Miss Marvel series or definitely Captain Marvel 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
AKA, there's a lot to look forward to. And
oh my gosh, yeah.
And I know that Disney had their annual call or whatever the hell it is this past week, and they did ask about Black Widow because people are like, so what's the deal with Black Widow? Is it going to be released? Is it going to Disney Plus? And they said as of right now, the plan is for that movie to be like the first major movie that's released in movie theaters post-pandemic. Like they're set on it.
It's kind of smart because that movie comes out, I think, May 15th it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And May 1st, I believe that for all states, they have to open up vaccines for everybody.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And usually a lot of the vaccines, 2 weeks after you get it, you're like fully vaccinated and stuff like that. So at that point, when that kind of opens, a lot of people are going to be vaccinated. I'm actually getting my second vaccine tomorrow, so we're going to have more it. But I think that's kind of smart on Disney's point because they're like, oh, if everybody's getting these vaccines at this point, then over the course of the next month, we'll have a good amount of people who want to go into the theater.
Look at them staying patient. Do you think DC is going to regret any of their decisions?
Yes.
Yeah.
And by DC, I mean, I guess I should say just WB in general, because they just said all things in 2020, and those are major movies: Kong vs. Godzilla, Matrix, Dune.
Well, but at the same time, I don't know how much they're going to regret it because you're still going to get the hardcore fans of all of those things. Because, like, I'm sorry, I'm going to see In the Heights in the theater, bitch.
Right. I know.
Oh my God.
Listen, I have two In the Heights tattoos.
I'm ready to cry.
Yes.
Exactly.
Obnoxiously.
It's like, even though I know what happens.
Well, John, you know what they should have done? They should have done what what Disney did with Raya and the Last Dragon and with Mulan, like
the premiere access,
right? It should like no issue whatsoever with having it debut on streaming, but make it cost something extra. I mean, look, I love that it's,
but at the same
that it's free, you know, or included with HBO Max, but so I'm not complaining about that, but I'm sure the studio itself is probably going, why didn't we at least maybe make it something where you have to pay a little bit more to have access to it, because once theaters reopen, if it is in May or June or whatnot, that's a full 6 months where where Warner Brothers could be going, oh man,
those are major movies that are coming out.
Yes.
Major movies. These are like a Matrix movie, a brand new Matrix movie. Watching it on my phone, I don't know if I could do that.
100%. Yeah.
I don't know if I can watch it.
And Dune is the one that I was like, oh my goodness, because I don't think you could see something like that not on the big screen. You know, it has that like Inception like feel where. You know, or Avatar, you know, where you have to see it in theaters to appreciate the full scope of it.
I just genuinely miss movie theaters. Like I miss meeting your friends in the parking lot. Let's go in the movie theater and then looking at that nasty ass buttery floor. Right, just everything.
Mike and I, we would always meet up at that Fridays in Cherry Hill. And we would go to the movie. We would get dinner, and then we would go to the movies afterwards.
Well, let me tell you, dude. If this is true about Black Widow, and you know, and they're really going for it, then
I'll be vaccinated by that point.
All right, I'll be in charge of the tickets for this one, and then you'll take the next one.
I can't. I might cry. I might like legit cry walking into a movie theater. I might legit cry because I love. I was watching Jared. Who's usually on this? He put up a clip yesterday. And I've watched this clip like 7 million times, but I watched it again. I literally was crying in my car on my way to work. He put up the clip of people reacting to the final fight scene in Endgame. Like the theater reaction and
I watch it all the time.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it. Just the people cheering.
Wasn't Avengers Endgame magic? Like let's just
God.
talk about
well, that's what I was saying. I was saying as I was watching
had an experience.
And I was saying, I said this to my coworkers when I walked inside. I was like, because I told them what I was doing in my car and why I was like 5 minutes late to work, because I was just sitting in my car thinking about this. And I was saying to them that was only possible because of Marvel's patience.
Yes.
Yes.
23 movies leading up.
Yeah, that's so much development.
And 10 years.
10 years
of development.
And that's why DC will never have that unless they start being patient, because they shoved it all. They shoved it all in our face.
And it hurts. It hurts because you want to see these things thrive and you want them to be good. And then when it doesn't succeed, you feel hurt. Yes. You feel like you lost a little bit.
Yep, they tried so hard.
It goes to the credit of Marvel and like a lot of people are like, you know, complain, oh, WandaVision, it's so slow, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, that's what Marvel's been doing all along.
All along.
Like, they give you the slow burn. Like Captain America, the first Avenger is hardly the most exciting movie, but you couldn't have that movie. Yes. Or you couldn't have the Captain America Winter Soldier with the storyline with Bucky coming back without having Captain America, the first Avenger, to witness him fall off the train. Like, you need all of those kind of slow burns.
The payoff is so much better when you have something like this. I agree.
And then you couldn't have Captain America Civil War without the preceding movies, Avengers Age of Ultron, the first Avengers, like all these movies that led to the Sokovia Accords. You know, you need all of those things to, you know, build up to that. Whereas, you know, whereas DC was just like, hey, we're 2 movies in, we're doing Justice League, here we go.
Yeah. Do you want 13 characters in one movie with no development? We got you.
Right. And that's why we're getting what we're getting on Thursday of this week, with the Snyder Cut being released, you know, a 4-hour, you know, hey, let's try this again. But like, it's also not leading anywhere. Like, they already said, like, this is it. Like Ben Affleck's not coming back. You know, like this is it.
I will say, and this is probably a hot take, I feel like superhero movies get a bad rap either way. If they're all action, it's just like, these aren't thought-provoking. They're just roller coasters. They don't provoke any thought. And then if it's too slow, it's too slow. Where's the action? When I feel like they fit
damned
both
if you do,
hats.
you're damned if you don't.
They fit both hats.
You hit the nail on the head right there, Jacqui. Because let me
God
tell you,
forbid people enjoy themselves.
I cannot tell you how many people whose opinions I respect about movies say that they didn't like Endgame because it was too slow. And I was like,
get out of here.
I was like, wait a minute. The reason why Endgame is my favorite MCU film is because you have these amazing actors who get to act.
Yes.
That's what they do for 3 hours. Now, and then on top of that, you get 20 minutes of the most unbelievable epic battle of any film
cinema history.
Yes.
That's the
I've
best.
Never seen a better
Isn't
battle.
that the best story? Isn't that why we love Star Wars? Because you get your action, you got a little love in it, and then you have a little like emotional pull.
The scene between Steve Rogers and Natasha in the Avengers facility. Smack in the middle of Endgame, where they're just the only ones there, and she's eating her little sandwich, and she's like she's about to lose her mind because she's alone. I'm like, where you guys are brilliant actors. This is why we've got Scarlett Johansson and
exactly, and that's why these major actors don't mind coming up with. That's the reason why you're getting Christian Bale to play a villain for one movie. And what's her face? What's her face from Thor Ragnarok? What's her name from Thor Ragnarok? Who was also a great villain? Kate Blanchett. That's why you can get these big actors and actresses to just come in and play these roles because you're allowing them to do their job. And what I told you, I was rewatching the end of Civil War, and there's even a scene when Don Cheadle he's learning how to walk again with like all of that stuff, and Tony's there, and like even that scene was just so well acted when he's sitting there talking about how it was all worth it. Like, I may not be able to like walk again, but like this was all worth it, and I'm happy to be by your side. I made the right choice. Like that, you don't get that in a Snyder cut.
You know what I love too is that like there's not like many tender love scenes. Like there's Peggy Carter and Steve Rogers, but like Clint Barton and Natasha Romanoff aren't even together. They're not even together, but they love each other so much. And I cry every single time, like when they're fighting over the Soul Stone, every single time, because they love each other so much, even though it's not romantic. Right.
That's pure friend. And listen, I let the record show that I would fight with all of you. I would if we're at the Soul Stone.
I'd be like, go ahead, girl. I'll tell them that you said bye.
I feel like my fighting skills are not as impressive, so it'd just be really bad wrestling. Just like, ow, you're bending my knee. Stop.
So what I want to do is I want to end this, I want to play one of my favorite scenes from Civil War. And it is Bucky's escape scene from Civil War, and where we get the scene with Captain America and the helicopter. I want to play this because I rewatched this scene yesterday too, and it's just so good. I'm just gonna replay the whole thing. Because it's so good, and I want to play this mainly because we get characters including Sharon Carter, Winter Soldier, Falcon, and Zemo in this one scene, and this kind of will set things up for.
Also, super fun fact. Yeah. Robert Downey Jr. came up with the idea for the Iron Glove himself.
Ooh,
fun!
I did not know that. Look at you dropping facts. All right, here we go.
Girl,
I'm gonna play this.
Right.
Look at this fight. This is good. This is good choreography.
Yeah. Look how strong Winter Soldier looks through doing these blows.
Get up, girl.
Hey, do you want to do a TV show?
Evac all civilians. Get me a perimeter around the building and gunships in the air.
I did forget.
Maybe he'll show up. I could see him showing up.
These two buttons. I'm an active duty non-combatant.
Follow me.
Yeah, Sharon. We also get a little Black Panther in this as well. Yeah, that's right. Take it off.
Yeah, I need to take off my jacket for this.
I love this entire sequence. This entire sequence in the lunchroom is fantastic.
We're in position.
My favorite part is Tony's face when he pulls the trigger.
Right? Give me the acting.
When he puts his hand over the gun and he shoots him, it's right here. Look at that face.
Oh, that's so brave.
You tried to kill me. You just tried to kill me.
Get him, Sharon.
My girl, yes. Right, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, you tried.
That's right.
Good hustle, ladies. Good hustle.
Black Panther. Oh, I'm gonna miss him so much.
I'm already sad.
Chadwick,
I'm so sad.
Right, Chadwick. Oh, he can move quick. Look at him. He's already up those steps. I get winded going up half a
What are those? PJ Flyers? Like, dang. KF Flyers.
He's like, vibranium?
Where'd you get this? That's the amazing thing about the Captain America movie is you feel when they fall, right? You feel them hit everything. You're like,
yes.
Oh, God.
Look at those shoes. I love those shoes.
I'm like on the ground when I stub my toe. I couldn't imagine being in a fight like this.
Oh, here it is. It's the helicopter sequence.
Daddy. Do it. Do it. Go get him. Go get your man, girl. Go get your man. You chase after him.
Here we go.
Yeah.
That's right.
Ooh, Chris Evans' thirst trap.
Here it comes.
Here comes his thirst trap. Let's go.
If I stay, I was home your way. Here we go.
Switch. Give it to us. Give it to us. There it is. Oh my goodness. Oof. It doesn't, dude.
Like, legit, you find new things every single time you see it.
Right.
Again, I've seen this a billion times, and it's like the first time I watched it again. That's right.
Like, come on, man.
So good.
Come on. Like, that's
crazy.
Just so good.
And I think that's what I think we're going to get with this series.
100%.
I think we're going to get a lot.
And I'm so okay with, because that is a good sequence of, and it wasn't like necessarily like CGI, right? Like that's just a good choreographed sequence.
Have you guys ever seen on like the Civil War like special features how the cameraman, like when the actors dive out of the window, the cameraman's diving out of the window? That's wild to me.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, I am super excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier. It comes out next Friday. I will, just like with WandaVision, I will most likely be up early in the morning. I will set my alarm for 3 a.m. like I did last time. I'll go to bed early. I'll wake up early, and I probably just will plan to not go back to sleep, because I feel like it's going to be, my anxiety is just going to be through the roof, and I'm going to be like, oh my god, the entire time, and I won't be able to go back to sleep. So, anything final that you want to say about Falcon and Winter Soldier, Mike? I'll start with you.
More of what we all said thus far. I think we're really in for the classic Marvel action, and that touch of humor that they always give us, the really good relationships, which is exactly why I care about all these characters in the first place. I always say that if I'm watching a film and I don't care about the characters, then I don't like the movie. And I can safely say that no matter what, in all of these 23 films and now 2 series that we have, I care about every single one of these people, and that's a credit to to the writing, that's a credit to the directing, that's a credit to the performances, and I think we're just going to get a lot more of that. So, we're talking about the characters that I haven't really paid that much attention to, and I think I'm not alone in that. I think a lot of people, probably didn't give Falcon and Winter Soldier their due thus far, and we're about to. So I'm excited. Bring it on.
I'm excited. Jacqui, what about you? Anything final to say about Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I'm just really excited for this bromance that's about to happen.
Yes.
I'm excited for the bromance. I'm excited how they're going to feed off each other. Chris, my significant other, was just saying he just loves how they work together in the movies in little tiny ways. So he's excited to see more of that, and so am I.
Yeah, me too. I agree. John?
I'm ready to laugh. I'm ready to be wowed. I'm ready for the exploration of these characters, who they are. Again, getting to flesh out details that other people might not know, because for the most part, they're always kind of like the sidekicks. They get to say funny things, and now we get to focus on who they are as people. And I'm very interested to see where this places in the MCU timeline. Like, how far is this Is this going against the events of WandaVision, or is this further after?
I would imagine it's after. I wonder if if like they'll make a reference to like, hey, something's going down in Westview, New Jersey, or something like that.
Yeah. I'm interested to see where this places, and I'm interested to see where these two characters go, how these characters have been affected by Steve being gone, where they are emotionally with that, not having their good friend with them, and having to form this new kind of relationship with one another, and also just not hurt anymore.
Absolutely. I agree. Well, I appreciate the three of you once again taking time out of your day to sit and chat with me. Once again, friends, if you enjoyed this, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube, and you'll be the first to see any of our panels that we talk about, anything Marvel related. And then if you're listening on podcasts, make sure you subscribe there as well. And all of that. If you are enjoying this, be sure to follow me on your favorite social media platforms at The Vibe with Kai. And you can also visit thevibewithkai.com, where I'm always posting blogs and videos and things that'll help you do good, feel good, be good, and live a good life full of good vibes. With that said, once again, to my panelists, Jacqui, Mike, John, thank you so much for joining me. Yes.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Yes,
enjoy.
everybody.
We'll talk more when it's done.
I can't wait for next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your day. As always, God bless and good vibes.